They were like, oh, you have to leave now or you probably won't be able to come home till June because they were shutting down all the flights. So we were like, we gotta go.
And like, we ain't had no gyms. We were able to go to the track in our club for like the first week, and then after like a spread, they shut everything completely down.
But it was just crazy. I can remember we were coming back from the MEAC tournament, and there was an email sent that as soon as everybody got on campus, we had to make sure everybody got home.
I do have some friends and family who've been impacted. So, I mean, it really didn't hit home that this was as serious as it was until you hear somebody who's been sticking with it and, you know, who's sitting there telling you, you know, they're scared and they don't know what to do or what they could do in order to get through this.
Thanks God, our country, did, the good steps to, slow it down at the beginnings. But to be honest, we're all locked down and we can't really, go nowhere. The only places is the grocery stores, the shops. You can get food and stuff, but all the companies, the factories, everything, they all closed.
I think one thing that COVID has brought is basically a pause that a lot of people needed, and in the beginning, and I don't think people are quite appreciating the fact that we needed this pause, but eventually it'll show all right, even though it's crazy and we're on lockdown, they're talking about a curfew, our kids aren't going to school, money is not being made, but just to appreciate the lesser things, I guess.
Biggest fear for Black people during a pandemic is having a heightened awareness and an increase that our bodies are devalued.
I mean, I'm an introvert just naturally, so being home is cool with me. But as far as adjusting my workouts, I just try to do a lot of high intensity workouts, a lot of HIIT workouts, we call them.
I think that a lot of people are going to realize that it's okay to work from home. And I think a lot of jobs are going to be lost because you're starting to see what really is essential for a business to be able to function
in place. But we've sort of gone into lockdown at the moment. I think all the pubs are shut, all the gyms are shut, all the everything's shut at the moment.
The season was up and down. We had a lot of injuries, but at the end we started to play well. But for me individually, I think it was for sure my best year out of my 5 years. I got MVP this year, so
yeah.
That was a big accomplishment because I was not even expecting it. I knew I had a good year,
right?
But waking up to that, that's a great feeling.
It's definitely unprecedented times right now, But for me, it's kind of much needed. We've got two little ones, 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Especially this time of the year, I'm usually gone, 4 out of 7 nights out of the week. So for me to just be at home and be with them, it means a lot. When they're 4 and 2, obviously they're growing and they're developing so quickly at those ages that I'm not missing out on that much. But I'm sure they're ready to get me back out of the house now.
Honestly, it was kind of scary because at 3 a.m, my teammate Kalia Copper, she plays for Chicago Sky, she called me and I was dead asleep. She was like, Jazz, we gotta go now. And for a minute, I'm like, wait, am I dreaming? Is she really calling me, telling me that I gotta leave the country and go home now? She said Trump put out a travel ban and no one's gonna be able to come back into the States. So this was before everything was clarified that it was only non-US citizens. So at 3 a.m. till 8 a.m, we were just up looking for flights, scrambling. We both have dogs. Mm-hmm. So, not being able to just jump on a flight because we gotta make sure they can get on. It was pretty stressful.
Girl, good. Up and down, man. I don't know about you. I've been on a roller coaster of emotion. Oh my gosh, can you just say the same thing to Ryan? Because he's feeling that. Everything was working out so well and pieces were falling together, and then all of a sudden it was just okay, now what?
See you. I'm glad you're doing well. In regard, I have 2 jobs. So my day job, full-time job, is being a co-founder of business development at Kiswe Mobile. We've been around for 6.5 years. I work out of a virtual office. I travel a lot globally. So I stay in contact with everyone I contact, my clients and coworkers by Slack, Google Hangout, emails, text messaging. So that hasn't changed a whole lot. Our business has changed dramatically, and I'll get to that later. But in terms of day-to-day, the kids hasn't changed, but teaching at Georgetown has changed. I love teaching in front of students, interacting with students, seeing their reactions. I don't love teaching online, but it's the safest and best way. So for now, I'll do with that. The thing I miss the most is my mentees. You know, I have dozens of mentees, and I spend a lot of time with my mentees, going to ball games and going to lunches and dinners. And I don't have that. I haven't seen any of the kids in 4.5 weeks, and that's the biggest hole in my life right now.
They're not practicing social distance as they should, in a sense. It's like certain people pick and choose what they want to be distance about. I'll say that much. Okay. Like I went to the grocery store the other day to pick up some some essential stuff for the most part. So you'll see people walking around, they wear their masks, they wear their gloves and stuff like that, but they're still kind of next to people, if that makes sense. So I guess it's supposed to be 6 feet away from people. Yeah. They're not really following that much, but you'll see people, they'll have, full masks, gloves and stuff like that. But they're not really keeping their distance away from other people.
It happened like really fast, kind of. We, just like I'm sure you guys were here, you hear about it in China and everything, and like we heard about it in some other European places, but we were still playing as normal, and then all of a sudden our leagues were going to no fans, but we didn't even actually get to our next game that was no fans. Like we had just played our cup tournament, and we had a game a week later, so that was made to be no fans, and then like 2 days before that they canceled the game, but it was still kind of in limbo, and then everything just kind of starting to happen really fast. Like Trump made his travel ban that a bunch of people were freaking out because they thought like people couldn't get home, which we could, and then our league, like a bunch of leagues around us were canceling.
Yeah, I would just say it's just a lot. It's a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent, and it's just not enough teams to hold the amount of talent that's now coming in. I think about people that are older than me that I've seen come out of college, killers, even went overseas for a while, and they have like a 5-year stint. Even myself went overseas for 4 years, and now I feel like I've done everything. I'm ready to come back and give my knowledge to the kids, but for somebody that's still passionate and wants to play this game for a long time, it gets tough because not everybody doesn't want to go overseas to play. Yeah. You want to stay at home. We want to play for our fans, and I just don't understand. With things going on now, like these new girls, they're tough. They can go, and like they deserve to be shown on that big stage. So like I understand we got vets that's been in the league for very long and we're paying homage, but I feel like it's time for a new wave, and if I gotta be the first one to say it, I'll say it, but we need to get them out there. Like there's no way we have players of the year only staying in the league for 2 years.
But what I'm saying, it give me a chance to create more stuff, like that, and just honing in on that. So for the most part, I've just been creating a lot more stuff, and I'm just ready to really be back outside for real.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I kind of got caught with at first is like, this quarantine happening. People on IG Live, people putting out all this content, and I'm like, oh, I gotta put out my content. I gotta put out some content. Yeah. And I'm just like, Marcus, take your time. Like, don't get in the rat. Like I just thought like I'm not gonna get in the rat race to like hurry up and because everybody's doing something and putting stuff out. Right. I'm finding ways where I can be consistent where I can, but I took a step back and say, okay, well, how can we
your immune system, your gut is being treated wrong. That's why you have a dis-ease. A profession might tell you that you have XYZ, which you might have, but you didn't treat your body right for your body to malfunction like this. you did it?
The biggest thing just for, anybody is just to kind of stay sharp, mentally, physically, emotionally. This time that we have right now is rare that, everybody kind of gets to have time to themselves and kind of focus on themselves and kind of look in the mirror and just think about what you want for yourself moving forward. One of the things I kind of mentioned to our guys at some point last week was to write your goals down, no matter part of your sport or just part of life. Write your goals down, visualize those things.
I can't really do anything that I was doing, which is crazy. Like, I'm at beauty college, obviously, but we can't go anymore because the schools have been shut down. And because I work in retail in cosmetics, it's been just we're still open, but it's just so quiet. So I can't do much of that. Our gyms are closed, no gyms are open.
Oh yeah, I mean it's impacted everybody. Even with my business with New Balance, AAU season is the main thing, the time everybody getting ready for tournaments and everything like that. So basketball is on pause. So as far as that side, it's definitely been affected because nobody's buying anything.
It's like you said, it's just we all waiting to see what's gonna happen. But honestly, I actually have been thinking of plan B's and C's and D's and stuff like that. As far as if basketball doesn't come back, my dad works at the school, so I told him maybe I could come help.
If you are fortunate enough to be in a better situation, then it's understanding how decisions now can affect you later down the road, which is where that financial planning and projecting of future wealth really comes into play. One thing I've been telling people is if you don't have someone who is guiding you and advising you through this situation and the options you have is to try and find that, or ultimately to do nothing. I mean, I know that sounds a bit counterintuitive, but it's better to do nothing, kind of wait it out to see how it happens. I mean, we do anticipate the market rebounding. It's not like it's going to implode. It's just a matter of when, which is unpredictable. But, the hope there is that they were previously allocated in a way that, will ultimately help, meet their needs in the future. So doing nothing is better than making an emotional decision without knowing if that's how that may affect you down the road. So that's a few pieces of advice I would give to help, depending on your situation.
This is going to do serious damage to the economy. However, this is the time that if you're strategic, you can come out of this doing very well. This is the time some new millionaires are going to be born out of this little time period, because we don't really know how long it's going to last.